going to shape the next election. I thought we'd put that to Tim Chapman, who's president of Advancing American Freedom. Tim, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Lars. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it is disappointing in one sense that we'd like things to be better economically for everybody in the country. On the other hand, when you have 4 years of massive inflation and dislocation, with gas prices up, grocery prices up 30%, mortgage rates almost tripled at one point, and even when they came back down, they were more than double what they were when Joe Biden took office. And then you say to the president, in 12 months, we'd like you to reverse 4 years of crazy inflation. I don't even think that's possible. And maybe it's important to say our goal initially is let's flatten the inflation out. Let's get the prices down where we can. But are we telling you that we're going to fix all of those problems? It's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, look, it's a pretty big hole to dig out of. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you're right. The Biden years were absolutely atrocious for the economy, and we're still suffering because of it. I do think there are a lot of things we can be doing, though, to dig out a little bit better. And so on one hand, I think the president has done a really, really good job early on in his administration pushing Congress to pass that tax bill. I think that was absolutely critical. As you know, it was more than a tax bill. It had a lot of great deregulation in it. It had a lot of deregulation that contributed to energy prices going down and more people in people's pockets. So great start. Now, here's my concern, though, is look, I think there's an impulse in Washington and even some in the White House to kind of shrug off the affordability issue and think it's a Democrat hoax. It's not. People still feel it. People still understand it. And so we got to, number one, resist that instinct. We know what the liberals are going to do to demagogue this issue. Okay, we got it. Okay, check. I'm with you on that. But resist the issue to the impulse to shrug it away. Number two, embrace the solutions that always work on this. Yep. My critique right now for Republicans is very simple. You guys are right to want to get affordability under control, but you've got to fix the supply side of the equation. A lot of the different proposals that I see coming through Washington right now, some from the president, some from other Republicans in Congress, are fixing the demand side of the equation. And everyone understands economics 101. Supply and demand work together, okay? Yep. And what I see Washington doing is saying, let's give more credit to people like a 50-year mortgage rate or something like that. Or let's put price controls on particular products, something like that. Those are Band-Aids. They're not going to fix the problem. So I think we've got time here. I really do. But what I would love to see is I would love the president to say, look, Congress, we need more deregulation. We need more free market approaches to this. We need to cut government spending because the government spending does impact interest rates. Okay. And then I could even see them going for some more tax cuts. I think that's okay too. But that kind of stuff is tried and true. And I'd like to see them doing more of that than some of the more populist price control measures or things like that.
No, and Tim, I'm with you because every time they talk about putting a cap, say, on interest rates on credit cards, you're going to cut a lot of people with crappy credit, let's be honest about it, out of any credit at all, which doesn't help anybody. And saying we're going to say you can only sell credit if you sell money at below 10% or below 20%. And a lot of people's cards are in the mid-20s. And you say, okay, would that work any better than saying to gas stations, you can only sell gas if it's $2 a gallon? Yes. Well, tomorrow, nobody will be selling gas at $2 a gallon. Can I tell you one of my crazy ideas, I think, for marketing? Because we're in tax season right now. I don't know how many accountants and tax preparation people or the companies like H&R Block are conservative versus liberal. But I got to thinking about this. Most people, no matter what their tax person says, I mean, if they're having somebody else do the taxes for them, like H&R Block, there's a reason that's a big company. You say, well, how many of them are conservative versus liberal? There are lots and lots of companies, Tim, that when you go buy groceries, my wife and I went grocery shopping last night. We don't have somebody else to do it for us. And a lot of stores will say, this is how much you save by shopping here as opposed to brand X. And why do you think they do that? Because people don't memorize they know roughly what their groceries are going to cost. If I walked in, there's a lady who does my taxes and said, hey, I know what I'm paying this year. How much would I have been paying if the 17 tax breaks had been allowed to expire as Kamala Harris planned to do? And if she said, well, you paid $5,000, you would have been paying $10,000. I can understand that. Yeah. And if you said that, because I know that whatever you get back, say you're getting a refund. Well, I got $1,600, but I only got $1,600. Where's the tax break I'm supposed to have gotten? I wish the private sector would say to those clients, by the way, you got $1,600 back. If you hadn't had the 2017 tax cuts, you would have been paying $2,000 and not getting a dime back. Most people could say,
100%.
Well, hold on a second, I would have been paying, but now I'm getting. They understand that. But if you ask them, haven't you calculated in your head what the 2017, we know the averages, the White House came out today, said the average person is saving $3,700. But unless they see that, and say, my tax lady or my tax guy told me you got back $2,000, you would have got back nothing if they had not saved those tax cuts, then it's not going to come home to people, is it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I love that idea on the different auditing companies. That would be great. But in the meantime, until we get that across the finish line, congressmen need to do their job and go communicate this at home. And that's one of the things we're trying to help with. So at AAF right now, we're about to publish index cards for every member of Congress talking about the actual impact for families in their district from the One Big Beautiful Bill. And people just need to memorize it. They need to go home. They need to look people in the eye and give them the cards and say, look, find your tax bracket on here. Find what you're making yearly and see how much you got back. People will love to see that. That's really important. And then the second thing, and with respect to Congress doing its job, and this is a little bit for the White House as well, Congress needs to get to work on this Reconciliation 2.0 bill. They have to legislate more, and the White House needs to encourage them to do it. We need more positive pro-growth legislation from Congress. Just passing that One Big Beautiful Bill is not going to cut it for this Congress.
No, it's not. That is Tim Chapman from Advancing American Freedom.